Hello students. So students, in the previous class, we had completed the chapter, that is chapter 3rd, synthetic fiber and plastics. In case of the synthetic fiber and plastic student, in that of the synthetic fiber and plastic students, we had discussed that what are the different kind of a synthetic fiber it is. So you see, we have seen that synthetic fiber, it includes that of the polymers, and the polymers, it means rayon, nylon, polyester, then acrylic. These are the different synthetic fibers. Then we have also seen that what is a plastic. Plastic, again it is a polymer. Here the carbon and hydrogen, they combine together to form the small molecule, and ultimately this will help in the formation of a polymer that we call as a plastic students. This plastic, on the basis of the heating, also categorizes into two, that is thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic. Thermoplastic is what, student? It is a plastic which can be molded again and again. Thermosetting, which cannot be molded again and again. We have seen some of the properties of the plastic, that is resistant to chemical, thermal conductivity, electrical conductivity. It is inexpensive. As well as we have also seen the uses. Uses of the plastic. So different kind of a plastic used for a different purpose. Like if we talk about polythene, if we talk about polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene, then melamine is there, bakelite is there. These all are the different types of a plastic which is used for different purpose, students. Okay. And finally, we have seen that what are the impact of these plastic on our environment. You know that plastic is not good for our environment. It causes a lot of issue, including the soil pollution, including air pollution, including water pollution, as well as causes death of a person to that of the human being and the cattle animal. So it is dangerous for the mankind, it is dangerous for the environment also, students. So better we should reduce, we should reuse and believe in recycling of that of the plastic in order to control the use of the plastic in our day-to-day life. This is all the thing that we have studied regarding that of the synthetic fiber, student, as well as we have understood about that of the plastics. Moving on, and we will today start a new chapter, and that is metals and non-metals. So, as you can see here, that whenever we are talking about the metal and non-metal, let me tell you here that there are a lot of a substance which surround us, which is present around us. And these substances are made up of a pure substance that we call as elements. So on the basis of that, we can define an element. What is an element, students? Substances present around us is made up of two or more elements. So the substances which is present around us is made up of two or more elements. So on the basis of that, we can define that of the elements. What are the elements? So elements are pure substance substances which cannot be divided, which cannot be divided into two or more substances. Two or more substances. Okay. So we can say here that the elements, example student, hydrogen, oxygen, then nitrogen, aluminium, iron, copper, etc. So there are lot of elements are present, students, which we can say here, which is present around us, and they cannot be divided further into the simpler substances, students. Okay, so this is called as the element, students. Now elements are also categorized into two, that is metals and non-metals. So we can write here that elements categorize into metals and non-metals. Categorize into metals and non-metal, students. If we talk about the metals, so generally if we see what are metals, so metals are what? These are usually hard, lustrous, these are usually hard, strong, usually hard, strong, and good conductor of heat and electricity. So basically they are usually hard, they are strong, as well as they are a good conductor of heat and electricity. Example of the metal, students, there are lot example like iron, copper, gold, silver. These all are what? These all are the examples of the metals. Gold, silver. So usually they are hard, they are strong, and they are the good conductor of heat and electricity, student. If we see that, what do we understand by that of the non-metal? So what is that it will be? Non-metals. These are usually dull, soft, and poor conductor of heat and electricity. Okay, so basically they are dull, they are soft, and they are the poor conductor of heat and electricity. Example, so we can write it here: phosphorus, sulfur, bromine, fluorine. These all are what? These all are the non-metal. So phosphorus is there, then sulfur, then oxygen, hydrogen, etc. These all are what? These are the examples of that of the non-metals. So I hope you have simply understand that what do we understand by metal, what is the non-metal. So whenever the definition came, you will write this definition that metals are generally hard, they are strong and a good conductor of heat and electricity. In case of a non-metal, they are generally dull, they are generally soft and they are poor conductor of heat and electricity. Now we will going to see the properties of the metals and non-metals. Properties. So, physical property of a metal and non-metal. Why we are saying here physical property? Because it is related to its hardness, it is related to its appearance, it is related to its boiling point, melting point, its conductivity. So here actually we are not doing any kind of a reaction, but physically we are checking that what is its property. And that is why we are going to study the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Let us see what are the physical and the properties of metal and non-metal. So let us write that what do we understand by physical property. Physical properties are those properties of a substance are those properties which can be observed by looking at or touching the substance. So physical properties are those properties which can be observed by looking at or touching the substance. Okay, so this is the physical property, student. It is the property by looking anything, by touching anything. We can say that how how physically it appears and what is this physical property. So this is the physical property, and we are going to see those properties of the metals and non-metals. Now let us start with the physical properties of the metal, and the first property is its state. Its state, physical state. Physical state means what? That whether it exists in a solid, it exists in a liquid, or it exists into a gases. What kind of a state is there of metals as well as of that of the non-metals at a room temperature, students? So we can write here that all the metals, especially in the case of the metals, we can write it that all the metals exist in solid state. All the metals, they exist in solid state at room temperature. All the metals exist in solid state at room temperature except mercury. Except mercury. So except mercury, every other metal, they exist at a solid state. So this is the state of the metal, student. What about in case of a non-metal? So, physical state of a non-metal. So here, all the non-metals exist in all the three states, that is solid, liquid and gas. So they can exist in all the state including the solid, liquid and gas. So let me write it here. I hope you have understood that the metals, they exist in a solid state except that of the mercury. Now let me write the few example of that of the non-metal which exist in solid state, exist in liquid as well as in the gaseous state. So non-metal, solid state students. Okay, so in case of a phosphorus is there, then sulfur. In case of a liquid state, bromine. And in case of a gaseous state, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, helium, etc. Hydrogen, nitrogen, helium, oxygen, etc. These are what? These are the different types of gases which are actually non-metal. So we have seen from this students, that is the physical state of that of the metal is all of them are solid except mercury. While the physical state of that of the non-metal, all of them can exist in solid, liquid as well as in gases. So solid state, phosphorus, sulfur is there, and in case of a liquid state, bromine is there, and in gaseous, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen and helium. There are a lot more like fluorine. Okay, that is also. Non-metal students, iodine we will also include into the solid. So this is how the state varies from each other. Moving on, and we will see the next physical property of a metal and non-metal. Next physical property is luster. Luster or shine. So basically we can say here that the metals and the non-metals, they can be lustrous or they cannot be. It totally varies with that of the metals and non-metals. Basically, when we look at the metals students, we will find that the metals are what? They are lustrous as compared to that of the non-metal which are dull. So let us start with that of the metals. So all the metals are lustrous. All the metals are lustrous in appearance, like gold, silver. Gold is there, silver is there, platinum, iron, etc. So all the metals, they are lustrous in appearance, that is in the gold, silver, platinum, they all are actually possess the luster. If we talk about the non-metals, So non-metals are generally dull. So we can write it here that non-metals dull or non-lustrous students, or non-lustrous. Okay, here again an exception is there, student, that is except iodine, graphite, diamond. Iodine, graphite and diamond. You see students, when we look, you know that a diamond and graphite is what? How it is a non-metal? Because these two are the allotropes of carbon. Okay, and carbon is what? It is a non-metals only. So we can say here that iodine is there, graphite is there, and that of the diamond is there, which is possess the luster, except that the other non-metals, they are generally dull. While in case of the metal, all of them are actually lustrous. So this is how we can differentiate between that of the metal and that of the non-metal on the basis of the luster, that who possesses shine and who do not possesses shine. Okay. Moving on, and we will see the next one. That is malleability. Malleability. So, malleability is what? It is a property of a substance in which by beating we can draw thin sheets to it. Malleability is what? It can be beaten, the substance can be beaten into thin sheets. That property is called malleability. So first of all, let us write the definition. So malleability is the property, it is the property of a substance to be beaten into thin sheets. Students. Okay, so this is what? This is the malleability in which it will be beaten into thin sheets. Now, we will see that which one is malleable and which one is not. It means whether metals are malleable or it is a non-malleable. So, metals are generally malleable. Okay, metals are generally malleable. It means when we beat metals, they can be drawn into thin sheets. Okay, so they are generally malleable. Example, student: iron, gold, tin, zinc, copper, etc. These all are what? These all are generally, okay, iron, zinc, copper, etc. These all are, student, these all are malleable. It means when we beat it, we can draw thin sheets from these objects. So all the metals are generally malleable. What about the non-metals, student? So non-metals are non-malleable. What does that mean? It means when we beat that of the non-metal students, instead of drawing thin sheet to it, it will break down, okay, into pieces. So this shows that they are the non-malleable. Are non-metals are non-malleable. And instead of that, we can use another term for it that we call as a brittle. Brittle is what, student, that when we beat it with that of a hard substance, it will break into the pieces, and this property possessed by the non-metal is called as brittleness. So instead of showing the property of malleability, it will show the property of a brittleness. Example: sulfur, phosphorus, when break with hammer, broken into pieces. It will be broken into pieces, students. Okay, so this is what? This is a property of that of the non-metals. Okay, so metals, they are malleable, non-metals are non-malleable. Likewise, there is another property, and that we call as ductility. Ductility. Let us write the definition of the property. So, it is the property of a substance to be drawn into thin wires. So it is a property of a substance which is to be drawn into thin wire. So what happened in case of a metal, students? You have seen that there are lots of a copper wire, aluminium wire is there. So these wires can be formed because of the property of a ductility. So metals are generally ductile, they are basically ductile, and because of that, students, it can be drawn into thin wires. Example of the metals are which are ductile: copper, aluminium, these etc. These can be drawn into thin wire, students. So we can say that they used to show the property of a ductility. Let us move and see that what is the property of the non-metal. Whether they shows the property of a ductility, they are ductile or not. So you will find that non-metals are non-ductile. They are non-ductile and cannot be drawn into thin wires. They cannot be drawn into thin wires. Example, students. So basically carbon. non-metal. Carbon is what? It is also a non-metal. So this we have seen the malleability and ductility property of a metal and non-metal.